Freedom and connection, my version. Hi, friends. It's Diane here. I've been sitting with two words lately. Well, not sitting with them as such, but the crew, Anne and a pen and myself, tried to get together today to do our podcast, and we had some technical difficulties. Anyway, the podcast that we were going to film today would have been on freedom and connection. So I thought, all right, I didn't get that video done, but we will do it next week. we'll have everybody's version in there next week. But I thought, well, why not think hard on that for myself? And so that's what tonight's podcast is going to be. It's my version of both freedom and connection and what they mean to me, not in that preachy, teachery kind of thing where I'm trying to give everybody a lesson, but really just, riffing on my thoughts and what those two terms mean to me and what they've meant to me in my life. So those two words have kept coming up in conversations for me over the last couple of weeks, partly in response to some of the comments that we've received to our podcast and some of the conversations that I've had with the crew and other people around me. So today, I just want to share what those words mean to me, not in a big preachy way, just in the, this is my version kind of way. And maybe as you listen, you'll be thinking about what your version of those two words are, your definitions, what they mean to you. Because I have a feeling we all define those words a little differently, depending on where we are in our life. So what's my version of freedom? For me, freedom at this stage of life isn't about running away from anything or proving that I can do it all by myself. Freedom right now is about choice, the freedom to say no without guilt, and the freedom to use my time the way I want to instead of the way someone else expects me to. The freedom to speak my mind without having to water it down. And honestly, the freedom to reinvent myself if I feel like it. To try something new, even if it makes no sense to anybody else. I remember a little moment not long ago when I said no to something that I would have automatically said yes to in the past, just out of obligation. And it felt so good to say no, so freeing to realize I didn't owe anyone an explanation. I just got to say no. That was my definition of freedom right there. But I wonder, what does freedom look like for you? Is it about time? Is it about your voice? Is it about money, health, independence? What's your version? Stick it down there in the comments. Think about it and let's hear from you. Let's have that piece of conversation, even though it feels a little bit one way right now. So moving on, what's my version of connection? When I was younger, connection meant being surrounded by people, friends, co-workers even, the kids' school parents, the gymnast families, the committees, the busyness. And now, connection looks very different to me. It's not about how many people are in my group or in my circle or surrounding me. It's about whether the people in my circle actually see me. Connection is when I can show up as my whole self, the joyful parts and the messy parts. It's when I have people who notice when I've gone quiet, who laugh with me at silly things, and who will sit with me when life feels heavy. We all have those moments, I'm sure. Those are the moments when I really feel connected. That's my version of that word, connection. And again, I know I have a platform with this YouTube channel, but I continually find myself wondering about you. What does connection mean to you? Is it one close friend? Is it a group or a community? Is it your partner? or maybe even your faith. What about if we put our emphasis on both words, on both freedom and on connection, not choosing one or the other? Here's the thing. I don't think freedom and connection are opposites. For me, freedom without connection can feel very lonely. And connection without freedom can feel very heavy. Think about it. But what happens when we have both freedom and connection? When I'm free to be myself and I'm connected to people who celebrate my version of freedom, that's when life feels really full. That's my sweet spot. That's what I'm aiming for in this chapter of my life. So, freedom and connection. Those are my thoughts for today. My definition, my version. Next week, I'll be sitting down with Anne and Penn on the crew to talk about freedom and connection from all of our perspectives. And I know they're going to have their own ideas on the subject, which is exactly the point. I'd love for you to think about your version, because maybe when you hear us talk about it in the next crew episode, you'll either nod your head and say, "Yep, that's me too," or maybe you'll think, "No, my version looks totally different." Either way, your version matters. Thanks for spending this time with me today. I can't wait to continue the conversation real soon. So don't forget, comments down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.